Hi everyone, welcome to the video. This is going to be a quick video on how to use astrology dice. If you've never used them, you can use this in conjunction with your tarot card readings just to kind of elevate the reading or get a little bit more insight on the reading overall. Or you can use this on its own. You don't have to use it with your cards, just to ask questions. So let's get started. What you're going to need is a set of astrology dice. Each dice will have 12 sides, and they'll usually come with 3 dice. Each of the die is based on one of the 3 principles of astrology. Each of these dice can encompass different symbols and meanings, so you can interpret all of them together. So for the first one, we have the signs. This will represent the emotions involved in the situation of itself or the question you're asking. So you're going to think about the overall energy of what these zodiac signs have, and I will go ahead and go over that in the example. I also do have a little guidebook too that kind of explains that. The next one is going to be the planets. This represents the actions, circumstances, influences that will affect the overall situation or question that you're asking. So you want to know a little bit about the energy on those as well. And then you have the houses. These represent the area of life that will be affected or about the question that you're concerning or whatever you're asking about. So if you know a little bit about those as well, that will help you. Sometimes though, you may need to associate a die with a different role, so be playful with this. Read them intuitively when you're considering the meanings of the dice. So I'm kind of going to show you 2 different ways to read the dice the same way. You're going to pick up your dice, put them in your hand, and ask your question for clear and concise messages when you ask these questions. And remember, we are looking for the signs, the houses, and the planets in this example. So the first dice that we ended up rolling, it came out and it had to do with the planetary alignment, which has to do with your actions and influences with this date or what might be going on with this date. So we can say that you may be using your intuition with this. You may have a dream about this beforehand, or even connect with this person on a spiritual level. Those would be some words that I would associate with Neptune as far as the actions or how you might meet and like certain influences that might help you decide this. Also music and memories, that could come into play as well. So those could be maybe somebody that you know from a long time ago. You can use that. The next dice that came out is the house. So that's the area of life where this is affecting currently or where you may be meeting this person. So we have school, travel, or education. So like I said before, we can kind of go back to the other dice and use that and say, okay, this is somebody that you have a fond memory of. You maybe went to school with them, that sort of thing. So I'm hoping this is making sense so far, because you want to look at all the dice together as a whole and not read them so much individually. So we need to connect the dots when we're doing these readings. Then we're going to take our last dice and go ahead and give that a roll as well. And for this example, we got Gemini. So these signs are the emotions of how you may feel towards this person. So you may see this person as intelligent, that has a lot of social networks, so maybe you meet them on social media. They may be a gossip person, or they may be a little bit superficial, mischievous, or close friends. So like I said before, we went to that school kind of element. So maybe this is somebody that you meet from school or close friends or on social media. So that could be like one way of like how you're going to get to your next date or how you're going to meet somebody. Alright, so let's go over the second way that we can interpret these dice. I'm going to be using the same set of dice and what we rolled and just kind of go over a different way to use it. So this time when we are asking, we can use the first dice that falls out of our hand. That is going to be the signifying dice. So we're going to ask again, how will my date go? Or how will I know like when my date's coming? Something like that. So you want to let the first die fall out, and that will be your signifier. So again, we have the same planetary alignment, and we're going to say that this is like something that you have a psychic dream about, or just an instant knowing when you meet this person that this is the person you're going to go on a date with, or good things are going to happen from this just because of like you're going to have some sort of psychic connection with this person. So again, we're still using the same dice, and this time we need to look at the second dice that would have fallen out of my hand. So that would have been the houses dice. And this is going to describe the actions of the situation or how it might come about. So you can say that when we got the number 3, which is our third house, we talked about short distance traveling, school, maybe education, or social activities. So we can use that as our example of how to interpret this one as well. So the actions of this person, you might meet this person through those sort of activities or while you're actively doing one of those activities. Okay, and then the second way that we're going to read the dice is in the last dice that rolls out of the hand would be our outcome of the situation, or what we need to take away from the situation. So the last dice that we rolled was the zodiac sign. So we have Gemini, and if we look at that and we look at words that kind of associate with that, we can say communication and social networks. So maybe that if you meet this person through a social network, maybe it's going to elevate your social network, or you're going to have a very, I would say, like kind of public relationship. There may be a lot of gossiping around the relationship or things of that nature. So I hope you guys like this video of 2 different ways on how to use astrology dice, and I hope it made sense. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll go ahead and answer those. And if you learned something today, don't forget to like the video because it does help my channel a lot. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe and let me know. Thank you all for watching.